Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Kat, that's Dawn, and this is the most anticipated segment since everybody's been asking. We're gonna tell you how we officially met.
I don't know if it's our most anticipated segment, but this is how we met.
Oh, first before we go into it, I haven't been vlogging for a couple of days because update on Carter, he's basically pretty much very well potty trained. He got it basically down by the second, third day, so congrats to Carter. So we're gonna start. Don's gonna tell you his side, and then I'll clue in or fill in whatever I can because I'm not gonna try to interrupt him like I did last time.
Well, it all started in a land far, far away. And the first time we met was actually at one of her concerts. She was doing a concert here in Dallas, and one of my friends had asked me to go and see if I could work the door and put bands on people. Now, I'm
like
fat.
wristbands to make sure that you paid.
Right. So I'm fat now, but I used to work out a lot. So, she asked me to work the door for her, and I said, okay, that's cool. So I came there, and with just the anticipation of helping her at the door, collecting tickets, putting bands on for everybody, and then going home after that. And now at this point, everybody was already in. So my friend said, hey, you want to go back to the back and, let's meet the singers? And I was like, no, I think I'm okay. Because, in my head, I'm thinking, I'm not rich. I don't have anything great. The singers are going to be like, who the hell is this guy? So I was like, no, I'm okay. And then she's like, no, just come back here for a second. So I ended up walking back there with her, and Kat happened to be sitting in the back getting ready or whatever it is.
Yeah, I was the only one in the back. That show, actually, I remember it was me, Andy Guat, and Gwen V, but I was the only one in the back. And then as soon as he came into the back room, my friend, mutual friend, I've never met him before, she holds him behind, she introduces me like this. Hi Kat, this is Dawn. Isn't he so cute? Loie thinks he's so cute. And I was like,
So anyway, she thinks that I am probably trying to hit on her at this point, right?
No, I didn't think you were hitting on me. I didn't want my friend to, I don't know, the way that she said it or the way she introduced Dawn to me, I didn't want him to think that I was single because at that time I was actually with somebody else. Or I didn't want her to, I don't know, kind of.
So she had all these thoughts running through her head with just a hello, okay? I was like, so I asked, I'm just trying to make small talk because our friend was like, hey, I'll be right back. I gotta go count the money or whatever.
So they did have some food in the back.
Yeah, they brought some food to the back.
Yeah.
And then I started making
so
small.
So she told him to eat.
Yeah.
And then
so I started eating. I didn't care. I'm not embarrassed. I'm like, hey, you want some? And she was like, no, I'm okay. I'm like, all right, more for me. So then I start talking to her a little bit of small talk, and I ask her, I said, hey, so where do you live? And I just asked her some general questions just to make small talk, right? So
and my answer was
when I asked her where she lived, she said, I live in Houston with my boyfriend. I was like, all she had to say was she lived in Houston.
Hey, I was just being honest. I'm not a girl.
I was like, okay. And
I'm loyal to my men.
And then she started going on and saying, oh, and he owns a skydiving place and whatever. And I was like, okay. Well, I was like, that's good. That's great. Because I was like, I was about to go skydiving. So I was like, and she goes, I can give you a discount. I was like,
first you said, I go to Houston often as well. Where from? And then I said, this small town in Houston is close to the skydiving place because my boyfriend's family at that time owned that skydiving place. And then he's like, oh, I've always wanted to go. So I said, okay, well, let me know if you ever want to go. If you go with a group of stuff, you can get a discount. And he heard discount and he got all happy.
Well, no, she said that she can give me a 50% discount. So I was like, whoa, skydiving for 50% off? I was like, yes, this is good. So I was like, okay, great. So before I leave, I say bye to everybody. And I walk by her and I was like, hey, nice to meet you, Kat. I'll see you later. I was like, by the way, can I get your number so that way when I go skydiving, I can call you to get my discount? So nothing malicious. I'm not a home wrecker. Nothing happened. She
and I totally felt that vibe. Therefore, when I heard the way that he asked, I was like, okay, oh, of course. And I really liked it because he seemed so respectful, to come by and say bye before you leave. That's pretty cool instead of just disappearing, So that's why I actually gave my number away. And I have no intel. I don't ever do that either, you know. So I just felt like his vibe was really good, very honest, very respectful. So I gave him my number and I saved him in my phone as
I told her to save me as Don Juan
Don
Dallas
Juan.
because my nickname is Don Juan. Okay, so
I didn't even have Dallas in it. It's just Don Juan.
everybody knew me as Don Juan.
Okay.
So
Fast forward.
Fast forward 8 months later.
8 months.
I'm at home, and the church is having an event. Right, my dad decides to.
His family is very loyal to this church.
So they buy a table to sponsor the church, and they asked. So my brother-in-law asked me, "Hey, are you going to the event tonight?" And I was like, "No, probably not." And he was like, "You never hang out with the family." During that time, I was single, guys. So I was just, going out, having fun, doing my thing. So, I didn't know if the church event would be a fun thing for a single guy. So I was at my parents' house. I was in a tank top and Dickie shorts, okay? This is 2012. I'm like, okay, I have no clothes, and it's a dressy event. So I go upstairs to my old room at my parents' house, and I look in the closet, and I'm like, here's a shirt from high school. It's a Hollister shirt. So I was
it was the
American Eagle.
Fitch.
No, it's American Eagle or something. No, it's American Eagle or Hollister. So I'm like,
American Eagle.
Yeah.
I think I still have the shirt in the closet.
Yeah. I decided to put that on
because he had a
and I had nothing else. So I had that in shorts on and sandals. Okay.
But it was okay
sandals.
because the church's event that I sang for was a Hawaiian theme.
But everybody's still dressed up with slacks, and then they had a lei and a button up, a short sleeve button up. I'm over here in Dickie shorts, high school polo, and sandals. Okay. So I go to the event. We're sitting at the table in the front by the stage. So I leave to go to the bathroom. As I'm walking back in, I see a girl on stage, and I'm like, this girl.
That was me.
It was her, and I was like, who is this girl? And at the time, I'm single, so I just don't care. I just do shit that makes people laugh or remember me. So I walk by.
So I was on the stage.
I walk.
No.
She can't see me. She can't see me.
I saw
she
everything.
See me.
I saw it. I was singing.
No.
I gotta say this part because you ain't gonna say it right. I was singing, and he walks past me, and he goes like this.
Guys,
wink like nonstop.
That's an exaggeration, okay?
Oh, that's not.
I was single. So when you're single, what you do is you just try to make, get a girl's attention, laugh, have fun, So I was just doing winks like, hey, what's up?
It looked like that. It looked like this.
But I was just being funny, right?
I thought there was something in his eye.
She couldn't see me. The lights were glaring at her on the stage, right? So I walk by and then I wink at her and then I sit down and I asked my sister-in-law, I said, hey, is that Kat? And then she was like, yeah, that's Katia. And I was like, I know her. And then they're like, no, you don't. I was like, I do. Look, I have her number right here. So I'm like, maybe I'll just text her, right? So I texted her. I'm like, hey, can I buy you a shot? And then she was like, she waits a while before she responds because she's trying to figure out who it is.
So after all of the, so this is his side, right? I was backstage talking to my friend, and I had gone through a breakup, and in my head I'm like, I'm done. I'm just so over it. I'm going to focus on myself. I'm not going to look for guys. I'm not going to date anybody anymore. And I'm just going to go and finish all these projects that I had lined up and stuff. And that's what I'm going to do. So, so then right when I was like saying that to my friend, I looked at my phone, and right when I said that text came in from Don. Oh, hey, can I buy you a shot? I looked at my phone like, Don Juan? Who is Don Juan? Why do I have his number saved? And why is he texting me? And then it took me a while. And then I went, oh my goodness, I remember him. I remember that it was, Don that I met 8 months ago. Then I texted him back and I said, well, I don't want to go out there and drink in front of all these kids because it's a church show. So I said, how about I meet you halfway? So we met, and then he came backstage with like his entire entourage, like his whole family and stuff. And we took a shot together. And I'm thinking, man, this guy can drink because he already asked me for to take a shot with him. But it turns out Don can't drink a lick, guys.
That's not true.
I can't drink.
I can drink like 5 shots.
No, barely. You're very allergic.
So we just make small talk, and she's like, I was like, so what you been up to? She's like, I'm moving back to California. And I was like, oh, did you and your boyfriend break up? You know, I was just being
He was
blunt
so
because
super blunt.
you know, because I wasn't thinking anything of it. I'm not trying to hit on her or anything. So after that, I'm like, all right, well, it's good to see you. You know, I gotta go. I'm taking off now because I had to go home to. We were gonna go to the club that night. So you know, I end up going out. So I end up leaving. You know, but during the time that I leave, I hear that you know my sister-in-law sends me pictures of my dad on stage dancing around with her, and my sister-in-law makes all these jokes. Tell them what they said.
So they all like his younger sister was like, "We really want you. I want you to sing for my wedding." And everything, and I was like, "Oh, okay, great." I was like, "Your family is so fun. I want to marry to your family." And then his sister-in-law goes, "Dawn's single. Marry Dawn." So then I was like, "Oh, okay." So then she dragged me out to their table, and then to meet the parents. So his dad grabs my hand and takes me to the kitchen area to just meet everybody in the kitchen. When I first met his dad, the sister-in-law, she goes, "Ba ba, các tiệm muốn cưới Đòn."
She was drunk.
Yeah.
So was my dad.
Said, and then his dad goes, "Chuyện nhỏ," and small world. Now his dad is my father-in-law. So after all of that, we got to like texting. Somehow we just kept texting each other, and that's how we started our, you know, dating.
We're just talking and talking, and she finds out more about my background, and we end up talking into, you know, I don't know, not too late.
To the wee hours.
No, not too late, okay? And then all of a sudden at like 1:30 a.m. I get a text from her, and she was like, "I can't sleep." You know, I was like, "Hey, you know, people always serenade to you. Why don't you let me serenade to you? I mean, you always serenade to people. Why don't you let me serenade to you to sleep?" So I copied a clip of some galung, right? And then I sent it to her, you know, because I knew that would make her laugh, you know, because I said that it was me singing, you know, and I forgot what the lyrics were, but it was pretty good though.
It was the Mặn Quần one with Phi Nhung, and he was singing in English, and then it turned out like that, like honey something, I don't remember. It was funny, and it really caught my attention, and I was like, "Oh, this guy has a sense of humor." I was like, "That's awesome." You know, we didn't really meet each other yet. We just kept talking on the phone maybe, and then the thing about Don is like he didn't really text a lot. He actually called me, you know, like when he got off work, he called me and stuff. So I was like, oh, wow, he's still kind of old school. Like he's calling, and he's not even shy to like be on the spot to talk. And you know, he actually like have a conversation instead of just texting, where nowadays, like I know that a lot of relationships or whatever starts off with a lot of texting and emojis and all that stuff. We didn't really text. We talked a lot more.
No, that was later. We texted.
Yeah. And then there's another funny...
I texted to see if she had made it to her show the next day, because we were up so late. So I texted her the next day and I was like, "Hey, did you make it to your show?" Yeah, he seemed
really caring.
And she was like, "Yeah, I made it." So I was like, "Okay, great." And
so that caught my attention as well. Some more things about him. And then he just went on like full flirt mode, because I had told him like, "Oh, I'm gonna be..."
Did I?
On a... Yeah, you did. Then I told her I was gonna be on a talk show, or I thought it was a radio show, but I didn't know it was like an actual talk show where you film. And then he like found out the number to call it, and it was the Gong Tan show. It was my first time on that show, and he called in, and it's gonna be a long story, but it's just funny. Like you'll see how he made a window and came in and swooped me up, because, you know, well, I'll have that link on the bottom, and it's gonna start at 3 minutes. So I'm gonna have that YouTube link of the Gong Tan show, so you guys can check that out.
I mean, I'm not saying that I know everything, but I swear I can write a book on women now. But the good ones
not anymore
don't have a time window, so you gotta swoop in as soon as they're available.
Don is trying to teach you guys. Oh no. Well, that's it. That's the story of how we met, guys. And if you guys, I don't know, if you guys have any more questions or whatever, then you can feel free to ask. I wonder if we covered everything.
We'll tell you about our first date.
We don't have our first date and how he proposed and all these other things.
Well,
it all links together.
The first date is awesome. So we'll tell you that, you know, another time, because we're way over. You guys are probably getting bored of watching now. So
that is it, everybody. Feel free to comment, ask questions, subscribe, like it, whatever. And we'll do another segment, Q&A, whatever for you guys. I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'm tired. Good night, everybody.
Good night.